Hey everyone, how's it been? I hope it's been better for you than it has been for me over the past couple weeks because unfortunately I had a little accident at work about a week and a half ago, and as you can see, I burnt my hands pretty badly. I work for a steel company and I'm the supervisor for their heat treat department. So one of the main things that I do is I oversee the production of the heat treating of steel. Basically, I work with some pretty hot stuff on a daily basis. And I'm not going to get into the details, but what happened was I burnt both of my hands on a steel plate that was around 800 degrees Fahrenheit. So to all of you tradesmen out there, anyone who leaves their family every day to go work a dangerous job so you can support your family, always remember to be safe. And it doesn't matter how experienced you are in an industry, if you become complacent, bad things can happen. So always have your head on a swivel, always have situational awareness. But it's alright, I'll heal up. My hands are getting better. Stuff happens, what can you do? But it's kind of funny because due to this unfortunate event, I now have a newfound appreciation for silver. The reason why this hand healed so quickly, I mean, you should have seen it a week and a half ago, and you should see it now. I'm not going to show you what it looks like, but it's way better. It's astonishing how it healed so quickly in about a week and a half, and this hand got burnt worse, so it still has some time to heal. But the reason why this healed so quickly is because of silver. And you can see right here, it's kind of hanging out. This is a silver foam dressing, and I have another piece of it right here. It's called Mepilex, and it is for healing wounds. Silver, as many of you know, has some significant medicinal properties, and I just am astonished how quickly this silver dressing helped heal this burn, and how quickly it's healing this hand as well. It's just truly amazing. Without this silver foam dressing, my hands may be in worse shape than they are right now. So the medicinal properties of silver are just are awesome. I thought you guys would find that to be cool. But anyway, gold finally broke $1,400 per ounce. And I can't tell you that I'm surprised. And it just makes sense because over this past decade, the Federal Reserve has pumped trillions of dollars, trillions of fiat dollars into the economy, into the banking system. On top of that, we now have the Federal Reserve acting dovish, hinting that they may be cutting rates again in the future, maybe soon. Talking about symmetrical inflation, how we need more inflation, how they're cool with inflation going above their 2% target. Inflation according to their definition of inflation, price inflation. And really, that's just their way of telling us that they're raising their target for price inflation. They were never planning on stopping at 2%. This is how Keynesians think. On top of that, we have all these geopolitical tensions with Iran and China and other countries. It just makes sense that gold was going to break out. And the fact that gold closed above $1,400 an ounce is a very strong sign for the price of gold. The fact that gold broke out is a significant event. And the higher that the price of gold goes is a signal that people, investors, whoever around the world in America are starting to lose confidence in this fraudulent fiat currency system that we've been operating under. It is a sign that rough times are probably going to be ahead. But over this past week and a half, I've been recovering from my injuries. I've just been resting my body, resting my mind, and I have to say I've been getting a lot of enjoyment and entertainment in watching all the videos in the community, in the precious metal community, all this precious metal punditry that's been activated by gold breaking out above $1,400 per ounce. We have people that think you shouldn't buy gold, you should buy silver. Gold's too high in price. You have people that think, silver's a waste of money, buy gold. We have people talking about the gold to silver ratio and, all kinds of stuff. And, some controversy is being stirred up. This is all good stuff because it's good to get multiple perspectives from different people. And to all my friends and viewers and fellow stackers who have lost confidence in silver as a hedge, as a store of wealth, I wouldn't get too far ahead of yourselves. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if gold retraced and tested its support at around 1350. It makes sense that that would happen. But if gold can stay broken out, I personally expect the price of silver to follow. So let's talk about silver for a little bit and do some technical analysis. All right, so here we have the price of gold. And you can see it finally broke through that 1350 resistance. It's panned to the 5-year chart. And you could see it's been bouncing off of this resistance for a few years now, and we finally just blasted through it. Blasted through it. So I'll go over to silver, and you can see silver's been in this downtrend, and then it finally broke through. Now it is in an uptrend. So that is bullish for the price of silver. And let's go over to TradingView. If you've never heard of TradingView, this is a free website where you can access pretty much any chart of any commodity or financial asset or currency that exists. It's a great free website, and it provides you with a lot of tools for technical analysis. So I highly recommend this website for any of your chart reading. As you can see, silver is in what you call a descending triangle pattern. And I'll draw some trend lines to better illustrate this for you. I'll connect it to all of those resistance points. I'll draw another trend line at the supports. All right. So like I said, this is called a descending triangle pattern. You see the triangle here? And this is a bearish chart pattern. That's very common when the price of something is in a downtrend. But here's the thing, if silver manages to break out of this triangle to the north side, that's probably going to be pretty bullish for silver. But if it breaks to the downside, well, that would be a bad sign. That would be pretty bearish for silver. Now I can draw some resistance lines at this point right here. Right there. And I can draw one at this point right here. Extend that out. So, sorry if this looks a little jumbled to you, but here is you can see what we have right here is this next resistance level. If silver breaks north of this triangle trend line and north of this resistance line, so if it can get up to around 1575, then I would expect a pretty good bullish move in silver. And it's going to get cornered into this triangle here, so it's going to have to break out one way or the other, either up or down. Now with the Fed acting dovish, hinting at probably cutting interest rates not too far from now in the future, talking about symmetrical inflation, talking about how they want more inflation, with all these geopolitical tensions going on, and with gold finally breaking out above 1,400 an ounce. Do you seriously think silver is going to break to the downside of this triangle? Do you seriously think that? I don't at all. I think there is still a correlation with gold and silver. I think that although not as common as it used to be probably, I think that people still see a value in silver a value in it as a hedge, very similar to how they see the value in gold as a hedge. And it's not a coincidence that uh, silver broke out, right? Silver broke out and went into an uptrend at the same time as gold did. So I think there's still this connection with gold and silver, how they're both considered hedges against inflation. If gold takes off, I definitely think silver will too. Now let's go back to TradingView real quick. While I'm at it, what you can see down here is called the RSI, the Relative Strength Index. And this is a good technical tool that can help you indicate any potential price movements. Of course, you shouldn't rely on one specific indicator in order to gauge how prices may move, but it's just another tool you can add to your arsenal. You can see that the RSI peaked right here in correlation with this peak in the price of silver. So if this movement in the RSI can top this last peak, if it can go above that peak, that is what you call bullish divergence. So say if the RSI continues upward to right here, if the RSI can continue upward to right there, you see how this trend line would be towards the upside? That is called bullish divergence. And that is a bullish signal for the price of silver if the RSI does that. Let me delete this stuff real quick. Now, say the RSI does not top this last peak. Say when the market opens, silver turns over and it peaks right here below this last RSI peak. That would be known as bearish divergence. So if the RSI rolls over where it's at right now, see this this downward angle? That is bearish divergence. That is a bearish signal for the price of silver. If that happens, and if that does happen, then I would expect for the price of silver to remain in this triangle pattern for a little bit longer to break to the upside eventually. So now you know what the RSI is, and you know the difference between bullish and bearish divergence, which is a good thing to know. Now you know me, I like stacking both metals. I like to have a little bit of diversification. No one's certain what's going to happen. And just remember that silver and gold, they are hedges. They are hedges against inflation, against economic instability. There's always a possibility that you may lose value with silver. Same thing with gold. There's always a possibility you may lose value with gold. But in the long run, at least you'll have value left. Gold and silver are not always the greatest investment, but that's not what they're for. They're a hedge. And when it comes time for them to be a hedge, and when it comes time for them to do what they're supposed to do, they do it. Like I've said in previous videos, I think gold and silver are both at the start of their next bull run. I'm bullish on both metals, and I think there's even a possibility that silver may outperform gold in this next bull run. I mean, it pretty much did in the last bull run. Let's go back to these APMEX price charts real quick, just so you can see what I'm talking about. So the last bull market in gold and silver started around the early 2000s, around 2001. And as you can see, gold bottomed out at around $260, $270 per ounce. And it went all the way up to around, what, 1850 1900, something like that. Now with silver over that same time period went from $5 an ounce, $4 an ounce, around $4 an ounce, all the way up to $50 an ounce. So silver outperformed gold in the last bull market. Past performance is not indicative of future results, but as you can see, it's quite possible for silver to outperform gold if we enter a new bull market. And it's also possible for gold to outperform silver. I do think that it's probably a better idea to have more of your precious metal portfolio allocated to gold than silver, but it's good to diversify because you don't know what's going to happen. So that's all I have to say about the matter, and we'll see what happens. I think gold's going to hold that support at 1350, and I think silver is probably going to catch up with gold. But who knows? Only time will tell. But anyway, before I forget, not only do I pump precious metals on this channel, but I'm also a pumper of liberty education. Growing up, we were just indoctrinated with all this garbage. Our understanding of American history, especially American political history, is completely skewed. Our understanding of economics is completely skewed. If you want a true understanding of these subjects, and if you want to gain knowledge that will empower you for the rest of your life, then go to my affiliate link in the description below, and that will lead you to Tom Woods' Liberty Classroom, where you will receive an extremely high quality education for an extremely low cost. And you'll be learning these subjects from great professors that actually know what they're talking about. Great guys like Brian McClanahan, Tom Woods, Bob Murphy, Kevin Gutzman. These are the guys to learn from. So that link is in the description below. And also, I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, which is amazing. I can't thank you enough for supporting me. I thank you to all my viewers. And after I hit 1,000 subscribers, I will be doing a giveaway. It may take me a little bit of time to get it together, but I will be doing one. So thank you so much to everyone, and I'll talk to you later.